So, see, in our previous class, we were discussing that Krishna consciousness is the solution of everything. And we discussed that in Krishna consciousness, there are two main activities which are very simple. That is Shravanam and Kirtanam, hearing and chanting about Krishna. This is the beginning, and His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj, he was telling this that 99% or maybe 97% of the devotees, they reached back to Godhead by this process of Shravanam, by hearing about Krishna. So this hearing process is very, very potent. Then later we discuss that when any person, he will hear about something, and when he will speak about something, then he will automatically remember about that thing. So this is the next process, which is smaranam, always remembering Krishna. So when one is perfect in chanting and hearing, he will always remember Krishna. So for remembering Krishna, it is essential for one to hear about Krishna and to speak about Krishna. And this is very practical in this world also. You will see any person, if he is speaking something or he is, see, just like let's do an activity. You just remember someone in your heart, in your mind, who treated very well with you in past days. That can be any person. Or just remember any person who was very, he was not behaving very nicely with you and you got angry on him for some reason. You will see when any person, if he is speaking about someone, any person, and you are hearing about that particular person, about his qualities, about his behavior, then automatically his form will come in your mind. You will automatically remember him. So, this is how these things are connected. When one will perfect himself in hearing and chanting, then he will always remember Krishna. So, for remembering Krishna, it is essential for one to hear about him. Okay. Nor is progress in Krishna consciousness ever lost. Yes, we also discussed this point that whatever we are doing in this material world, it is not guaranteed that it will not lost. In fact, it will get lost for sure. This is for sure that particular, whatever things you are possessing or whatever skills you are possessing, that will get lost in some time. And as any person, he is practicing his devotional services, he understand this thing, and you yourself can observe this thing, that to those things which you were giving so much of priority, or you were thinking that these things or these people will stay along with me forever, or these things or people are mine, But you will find that those things where people are no more with you now, because this is the very nature of this material world. Whatever you will invest here, it will have to get lost. And we have no control on that. But this is not the case with Krishna consciousness. So, this is very beautiful. Okay. Krishna also confirms in Bhagavad Gita that one who begins Krishna consciousness cannot lose anything. So, here is this shloka from Bhagavad Gita 2.40. नेहाभिक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमस्य स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात् नेहाभिक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. Which endeavor? The efforts which you are putting in Krishna consciousness. And a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. And this is quite amazing. Any person who is in Krishna's shelter, he really don't have to fear about anything. You just imagine yourself, you are in a shelter of a person, and that person who is the king of uh, the particular country, suppose, or particular city you are living. He is king. King means he has all the rights, he has full rights, full power to control things, to manage things on his hands. And suppose that king is your father, then you will be relaxed. You will have no fear, isn't it? And now imagine the king of this whole country, in whatever country you're residing, he is your father. And now imagine the king of this whole planet is your father. The king of this whole universe is your father. And he is your father. Krishna is your supreme father. So, is there any scope of any kind of fear now? Because you are in his shelter. And any person, any devotee who takes, who is in his shelter, Krishna's shelter, Krishna loves that person more than his very life. So this is quite encouraging, isn't it? And see, if you will contemplate on this thing, then you will find that in actual you have been wanting such person, you were actually searching for such person in your life to whom you can who can give you all protection. And you cannot say that you were not searching for such person. We have this tendency of relying on others. We always need some shelter. We always seek for shelter. We always seek for support. But we can never find any person in this material world who can promise us to protect us in any way. because he himself is not all powerful. But Krishna is that person. In the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna asks about the fate of unsuccessful yogi, Sri Krishna replies. So, yes, actually, we needed to start from here. But, anyways, we did a nice revision. So, now we already discussed, we understood this point that any person, if he is practicing Krishna consciousness, then there is no loss. There is always gain, and there is no policy of loss. But what about those people who are, you know, who are unsuccessful? Even they are on this path, but then also they didn't succeed in their path completely. So here Arjuna is asking about the fate of those unsuccessful yogis. So Krishna, he replies, पार्थ नैवेह नामुत्र विनाशस्तस्य विद्यते न हि कल्याणकृत न हि कल्याणकृत कश्चित् दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति पार्थ नैवेह नामुत्र विनाशस्तस्य विद्यते न हि कल्याणकृत कश्चित् दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति. Son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. Bhagavad Gita 6.40. The Lord then indicates that the unsuccessful yogi takes up his practice of Krishna consciousness in the next life, beginning from the point where he left off. So it's just that easy. Just like you will see, if any student, if he is in school, any kid, any any boy or girl, if he is in school and he is studying, so he was in first class, then he later promoted to second class, then third class, then fourth class, then now he got unsucceed to promote in class fifth. So now what will happen? Does he need to start from first class or from the fourth class? Just like you will see that student who was unable to promote to class fifth, now he will get another chance to continue from where he left. Or suppose if he didn't got promoted, even if he didn't got promoted, uh, due to some circumstances, if he got diseased or because of the transfer of his father, he went to another country or city, then also he will get this another chance to continue from where he left. It's not like that if he was not successful in promoting class fifth, then he will need to start from first class again. So same way here, Krishna is telling this thing that any unsuccessful yogi, if he was practicing Krishna consciousness, but somehow if he got distracted on his journey, or suppose he was not able to go back to Godhead in his very lifetime, then he will get another chance to continue from his next life, beginning from the point where he left off. So it's not like that even any person he got distracted. So in his next life, he need to start it from the very starting. Suppose if like suppose if this was the case in Krishna consciousness, then there was no scope of us to go back to Godhead, isn't it? Because getting love of Godhead is not very easy. It's not cheap. It is very, very difficult. It takes millions and billions of lifetimes to get love of Krishna. And millions and billions of lifetime means millions and billions, in those millions and billions of years, lifetimes, one need to practice so much of austerities to attain Krishna. It's not like millions and billions of those lifetimes in which people were engaged in sense gratification. No, millions and billions of lifetimes of sacrifices, of austerities. Then one get the love of Godhead. So if this was the case in Krishna consciousness, then there was no scope of we people to go back to him. But see the mercy of Krishna. Even any person he gets distracted, then he will get another opportunity to begin from the point where he left off. So there is only gain policy. And any intelligent person, he will definitely invest in such policy where there is only gain and no loss. And see, uh, this is the only reason that you will see many devotees to whom you are associating. So even there is age gap. You will see there is age gap in devotees, but the level of the devotion of each devotee is not same. Why? Because they are continuing it from where he left in their past life. You will see some people, they are following Krishna consciousness from very young age. And some people, they are following Krishna consciousness from very old age. But like it doesn't matter if they are following Krishna consciousness, then now their path of going back to Godhead has started. So it took us eternal time to reach at this phase where we practice Krishna consciousness, where we are practicing Krishna consciousness. And now we will not, it will not take eternal time to go back to Godhead. Like very soon, any person who is following Krishna consciousness, he'll go back to Godhead. That's why this is my request with each and every one of you. Please give this seed of devotion of Krishna consciousness to every person. Because once you have given this seed of devotion to them, their path to go back to Godhead will open. And now they'll soon go back to Godhead. So I was thinking about that person is in Los Angeles. I don't know about his past life, but he is almost in his 60s. And now, as he got this seed of devotion of Krishna consciousness, he's practicing, he's chanting. So, even though if he will not be able to, I mean, I don't know, but yes, even if he will not be able to go back to Godhead in this life, but he will definitely get another chance in his next life. So, suppose if he's chanting 4 rounds in this life, so from next life, he will be uh, he will be beginning from chanting 5 rounds. I mean, what I want to tell here that any person from wherever he left, he will begin from that point. There is no loss. So one should try to give the seed of devotion to every being. And one more point I want to discuss on this is that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned. I mean, let me just read it. It is very beautiful point. I was reading it. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned that love of Godhead is very difficult. To get love of Krishna is very, very difficult. But to give that love, Krishna himself came in this age of Kali to give this love. Which love? See, here is the shloka. I will not be reciting it because it's difficult to recite, but I can discuss from the translation. So, yes, in this shloka, it is mentioned that Lord Krishna, he has never did this in his past. Like he came here in this planet, on this planet, in this world, in different incarnations. But any incarnation, any of those incarnation never did this and they can never do this. Any of the incarnation never did this and any of the incarnation can never do this. What? To give love of Godhead. And Krishna himself, he came in the form of Lord Chaitanya by his causeless mercy. By his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before. And why did he appear in this incarnation? To give, to distribute this love of Godhead. And which, I mean, he came to give the mellow of conjugal love, means that love which the cowherd girls, gopis of Goloka, experiences in their hearts for Krishna. That love, Lord Chaitanya came to distribute that level of love to the jivas in this world. Which jivas? The Kalyugites, the bona fide Kalyugites. And who are Kalyugites? In Srimad Bhagavatam only it is mentioned Sumandmati, who are very dull-minded. Plus, their age is also not much, and there is no much intelligence. So, to those people, Lord Chaitanya came to bestow his mercy to such people. And We are the part of this movement, and we have this amazing opportunity now. We can utilize this opportunity and we can go back to Krishna in this very lifetime. Now it's up to you. It's up to us whether we want to, uh, make full potential of this human form of life. And in this also, this great opportunity where Lord Krishna himself came to give his love. And please underline this line that no any incarnation has ever did this, and no any incarnation of Krishna can do this. Only Lord Chaitanya, he do this. He did this. Have you ever thought on this? Like when you were in your college or in your school, I can relate with this. When I was in my 12th standard, so there were only 16 students in our class. And in those 16 students, there were only two people who were intelligent. So I was thinking this, that I am right now in my 12th standard, and in future I will not get this opportunity to, to make, to utilize my time and to study very nicely so that I may achieve first rank. I have never achieved first rank in my life, and I don't want to achieve first rank in my life, especially in those materialistic studies. But that time I had this desire. So I was thinking that I should utilize my time and make full utilization of this opportunity to get first rank, because I will not get chance in my future. If I will not achieve rank now, then I will not get this chance in my future. Never. So same way, now apply this here. Now you got this opportunity where, you are in the association of those devotees who are in disciplic succession of Lord Chaitanya, where Lord Chaitanya is actually distributing this love of Krishna for free. And you will, I don't know, in future when we will get this opportunity. So we should try to utilize this human form of life. We should try to engage ourselves as much as we can in service to Krishna. Please, please, please note this, that only this thing, only for this purpose, we got this human form of life. Else, whatever we are doing in this human form of life, it is absolutely waste of time. So we should not waste our time. We should utilize every single moment. Let's just make this one, I mean, let's try to do this. Do not forget Krishna. I mean, to, constantly engage in services to Krishna. And today I was thinking about this. I have decided to put a stopwatch in my mobile phone. And when I'm doing other things in which I cannot hear, or I cannot put my intelligence in that particular work, then what I will do, I will constantly chant. Even if you are, if you are chanting when you are doing any other work, you are constantly speaking. You're, touching holy name of Krishna with your tongue. That is also, becoming reason to make you mad for Krishna. No, you are running towards Krishna when you are chanting his holy names. There is one devotee in our group. You will understand to whom I'm talking about. He has, he is focusing on this shloka, Harer Nameva Kevalam. So what he do, he wake up at 2 a.m., around 2 a.m., and he constantly chants. Like whatever he's doing, he always chant. And that's why you will see he's able to chant 70 to 80 or whatever rounds almost every single day. He chants 40, 50, 60 rounds every single day. So this is the secret of him. He has understood this thing that only this holy name will give me Krishna. So why not to keep chanting this holy name? No matter if I'm able to hear it or not, or whether I am, chanting even when I'm using my phone. I mean extra chanting. I'm talking about extra chanting, not 16 rounds. So why not to just give my all energy? And he was telling me that he becomes so much tired. He is not able to, he do his job also. He is a bank manager. So he becomes so much tired throughout the day and he just go to sleep after coming home. This much tired that he is not even able to hear his evening class. I'm not telling you to do that you become that much tired. But yes, just know that this holy name will only give you Krishna. So why not to keep engaging our tongue in chanting his names? So this is very beautiful point which we discussed today. So there is no loss, only gain. In other words, if one has finished 50% of the process in one life, in the next life he begins at the 51%. Just like I told you, if suppose any person is chanting 4 rounds, then from his next life, he will be chanting from fifth round. 5 rounds. He'll be continuing from there. I mean, impression of 4 rounds is already there, and now he will be continuing from fifth round. Just like it's mentioned here, if one has finished 50% of the process in one life, in the next life, he begins at 51%. Whatever material assets we accumulate in our life, however, we all annihilated at death. Sorry, are all those, whatever you are, accumulating here in this material world, they will get annihilated at death. For we cannot take material opulence with us. Just know this thing that you came in this world with nothing. You possessed nothing when you came in this world, isn't it? Prabhuji said, "You like one person. He didn't even took his underwear when he came in this world, and he will not take anything when he'll leave his body, when he'll go from this world. So we are not possessing anything, but then also we are, taking unnecessary anxiety on ourselves that these things belongs to me, these persons belongs to me. We are taking unnecessary anxiety on us because we possess nothing. Nothing belongs to us. Even this body doesn't belongs to us. Everything belongs to Krishna. So intelligence is we invest more and more of our time in service to Krishna and just fix our goal that I have to go back to Godhead in this lifetime only. I mean, it's up to Krishna whether he will take you to him in this lifetime or not. But our efforts should be in this way. This I will give my all to go back to Godhead in this lifetime. Now it's up to Krishna whether he wants me to take to him or not. I will give my all. This should be one's planning. All right, with this, we will continue our discussion in our next class if Krishna desires. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.